Hi. So I'm here to present my Unity 4 presentation, and the game name is called Encounters. Sorry, it's okay. So basically, my idea was to create a game similar or inspired by Dead by Daylight, which is a game where you have to try to complete tasks in order to try to escape before daylight because you would die by daylight. Um, So some of the main features of this game include things like fixing the generators, which is heavily inspired by Dead by Daylight, where you have to like fix the generators to escape and open the door. Running from the AI, which Dead by Daylight also has, and other features. So going deeper into some of the features, on the top right, you can see the generator repairing. So which would be further explained later. You can also see the AI pathfinding, which is used for the AI bot to chase you. Um, there's also the player movement controller. So you have the player that's shown here, the player animation controller, which controls all the animation movements. Um, so you can see like on this, there's crouch, there's run, there's idle, and last but not least, there's the Cinemachine camera implementation. So you can see like it's like a third person view of what's happening. Okay, so to create the project, I used assets from the Unity store, such as this computer setup or some other setups like the cafe, which would be shown later too. Um, the scripts were written in C Sharp, and some of the animations, or actually all the animations, were taken from Adobe Mixamo. Okay, so now I will start my game demo. Okay, so here I'll just play my game just to like run around and kind of show you what's happening. It's taking some time to load. So it's very laggy, but you can see um you can see the camera like movement like rotating. You can also see the kind of the bot, I guess, that's chasing you or the AI. And currently, when he like hits you, it does nothing. But the idea is to be able to respawn and have like a set amount of lives. And the main feature right now is like they're like repairing the generators. So when you get close to the hitbox, oh what? Okay, the enemy just faced the wall, but you're supposed to try to like get rid of the enemy. Um, okay, so to fix the generators, you would like hold R, and then the main challenge is to not get tagged during that time. So while you're repairing, you continue to repair, and once you finish repairing, there should be like a light that pops up. So okay, sorry, let me reset that. So now that is a problem that I have, which will be explained later. But yeah, so when it light ups, then it it in the database it shows that it's like completed. So the door would be like one step closer to being opened. Another thing I kind of worked on, which is kind of cool, I guess, was the crouching feature, which can be seen like through vents like this. So if you crouch, you can actually walk through the vents, whereas like if you walk normally, then you wouldn't be able to go through. Okay, I'll just explore the surroundings and kind of show you what's happening and what so I can explain what's I'm gonna add later in the creation. Okay, so if we take a broad look, you can see, so that was, oh, sorry. That was the room that we were just in, and I plan to add more um like maintenance equipment here or other types of like scenery, general scenery. Um, this room is kind of for like the escape. And there are some rooms that already have like the stuff inside planned out, but just hadn't had the time to do it. So, for example, the computer, maybe I would have like a mini game where you like try to hit the time, get the timing correct on the computer, so that um you can kind of like quote unquote hack the computer and the door system or like the security system, and maybe even like look through the security camera, which would be kind of cool. So I'll show you some of my scripts. I think the main one is the controller script and the generator controller script. So I'll show you that. Okay, I'll reshare my screen. So here's my code. As you can see, this is for the character. So the pink, I guess human. Um, so you can see there are different parts of that were needed. So one of them was the camera. The other was the actual controlling of the player, like the speed, the crouching speed, and this is the, I guess, the camera like rotating around. So using Cinemachine. Um, and where's the one? So you can see the crouching R, key code R. So crouching is R in this game, and is crouching. If his crouching is true, then it would, I guess, slow down and make the player shorter, so that you'll be able to go through smaller areas. And if you're crouching inside of the generator zone, then you'd be able to, I guess, fix the generator. So you can see here if gen repair controller is repairing gen. Yep. And the other script is the generator repair script. So this is very similar. So if it's near gen, so if it's inside the area where the generator can be fixed, then generating repairing is true, and then you'd be able to repair the generator. Once the generator is at its max level, then it sets that it's true, and it will turn on a light above the generator to mark that it has been complete.
All right, so Edward, can you describe any moment in the project where you had to resolve a difficult bug or any sort of project-related obstacle?
Okay, so I think the biggest bug was that um it was kind of hard to get the controller correct, especially with the Cinemachine, because when you're working with Cinemachine, it's not just about like its position, but also about which direction it's facing. So when the camera is facing that way, and then your player is facing forward, you want it to go forward. But if you press W, for example, it might think W and forward in terms of north. So I think that was the biggest problem or thing I have to fix.
Very nice. What do you think you did better here than in the original game you were inspired by, Dead by Daylight?
Um, I think there's not, honestly, there's not much, but I plan to add on more, like a variety of features, so it's not just fixing.
I see. Okay. And what do you think you learned in Unity 4 that you didn't know before, like in Unity 3?
So in Unity 3, I made like a first person game, but in Unity 4, I learned how to make a third person, which is kind of different.
How so?
Um, so like the bug, as like the bugging I was talking about, it's kind of hard to control the camera and the player at the same time. And also, because of there's third person, then you can also add animations to the player. such as like the crawling, the walking, that sort of stuff. And the character was not just like a big blob.
All right, fair enough. Thank you so much. You did well.
Thank you.